What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, there are a lot of things to talk about surrounding last night's bout, Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano, and there are a lot of narratives to discuss surrounding Errol the True Spence, right? AKA the Big Fish. So last night, Jerron Boots Ennis goes out and knocks out Clayton. Was that the second round or something like that? Knocks him out, gets the victory, and then calls out Errol Spence, right? He's saying, I want to fight Errol Spence. I want to reel in the Big Fish. I got what it takes to reel him in, so on and so forth. Boots and his family is, of course, as they should be, is supporting him. They backing him up, saying Errol don't want that fight. He don't want to do that. He don't want that smoke with Boots, so on and so forth, right? So then you have a contingency of fans, or you have a flock of fans who don't like Errol Spence Jr. at all. So they saying stuff like, oh, Errol's scared of that smoke. He don't want to fight Boots. He afraid of Boots. He don't want that fight to happen. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Errol Spence Jr. is not afraid to fight Boots Ennis, right? Errol has bigger things to do right now at this point in the division. He has nowhere else to go but to fight Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has nowhere else to go but to fight Errol Spence Jr. That's the only fight that those two should be concerned about making. Errol Spence only needs to be concerned about fighting Terence Crawford right now. Terence Crawford needs to only be concerned about fighting Errol Spence Jr., right? I'm sorry, but a fight with Boots Ennis goes on the back burner when you got a chance to fight Terence Crawford for Undisputed. Undisputed comes first in every scenario, right? So all the Errol Spence Jr. haters, oh, he's scared of Boots. He's scared of Boots. I can tell y'all right now, if Errol were to fight Boots Ennis and were to smoke him, or were to beat him soundly, unanimous decision, go out there and do his thing, get busy on him, the first thing y'all gonna say is, well, he didn't fight Bud though. But he didn't fight Bud though. He needs to go ahead and go get Bud that smoke. He's scared of Bud. So what the fuck? Like, which one do you want him to do? You want him to fight Boots, or you want him to fight Terence Crawford? Which one? So all that, Errol scared of Boots. Man, bro, which one? Y'all gonna talk shit if he go fight Boots and smoke Boots out. Like, go in there, if he go in there and beat him unanimously, y'all gonna say, oh, he was scared of Bud. So no, he should be focused on Bud Crawford and Bud Crawford only, right? Boots is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. When a guy is at the top of the throne, you're supposed to go hunt him and seek him out to try to get a title shot to become the top dog, or the new Big Fish, if you want to say that, right? That's what Errol calls himself, the Big Fish. If you want to be the top dog, you got to go fight the top dogs. And Boots Ennis understands that. The same way Errol Spence Jr. understood that when he was climbing up in the ranks, when he was trying to fight Keith Thurman, when he was trying to fight Sean Porter, when he's trying to fight Kell Brooks, so on and so forth. So Boots is doing nothing wrong. I respect Boots. He's a great young fighter. He will be a champion one day. He is the hardest. I feel like the one punch power, he has the best one punch power in the welterweight division, right? I respect him in and out of the ring. He's an admirable young man in and out of the ring. I respect his father, Bozy Ennis, as well. But it ain't the time for that fight. And honestly, I think he is too green to fight Errol at this point. I think Errol's ring generalship and experience will shine bright in that fight. And Boots, who is a great fighter, but he's never been in there with anyone like Errol Spence Jr. yet. I think that Errol's the veteran knowledge of Errol Spence will come and shine bright in that fight. Boots will do some very good things in that fight, but I think Errol will figure out a way to get that decision and get the nod, right? It would be kind of similar to Erickson Lubin fighting Jermell Charlo too early. Erickson Lubin was hot, and he was a hot young kid looking for a shot, and he stepped up a little bit too soon and got stopped. I don't think Boots would get stopped against Errol, but I think he would lose at this point. For sure. And I think Bud would beat Boots as well. So this ain't the time for that. Another narrative. Errol Spence Jr. only called out Terence Crawford because he's backed into a corner now. He don't really want to fight Bud. He only doing it because he knows that the fans will get pissed off and he will lose credibility if he were to try to fight anybody else. Errol's still scared of Terence. He's still scared of Terence. He's afraid. He's still shaking in his boots. But he only called him out because, he don't want to seem like he's a fake champion. He don't want to lose credibility. Listen, y'all. I am an observer of body language in the way a person talks and speaks, so on and so forth when they ask questions. When they asked what was going on with the Terence Bud Crawford fight, Errol said confidently, emphatically, we're talking. That's the only fight that I want. I want to fight Terence Bud Crawford. I want to be undisputed. We're in talks right now. We're going to make something happen. I want to fight him this year. This year, right? And when I heard Errol, he had no trepidation in his voice. He didn't seem apprehensive. None of the sort. But what's really the Errol scared shit is coming from is a lot of the Terence Bud Crawford super fans wanted Errol Spence Jr. to have a contract drawn up 2 or 3 days after the fight. Or a week after the fight. We ain't heard nothing from Errol. We ain't heard nothing. Is he scared? He only said that shit. He was just talking. We ain't heard nothing. It's been a week and a half. When the fuck? And I said, yes, fuck. When the fuck has a fighter ever won a belt? Has a fighter ever had a fucking contract drawn up like the goddamn 2-3 days after the fight? When have you seen some shit like that? They want a contract in a big fight like this. Man, not a little ass fight. A huge fight like this, of this magnitude. When the fuck has a contract ever been drawn up 2 weeks after the fight takes place? After a fighter just finishes a fight. A contract supposed to be drawn up 2 weeks? No, they got to sit down and negotiate, right? And someone, we need to hear what's going on in the contract. No, the fuck we don't. I'm sorry. I, as an Errol Spence Jr. fan, don't need to know what the contract is. Anybody as a Terence Bud Crawford fan does not need to know what the contract of the fight is. As between those two individuals, however the split is going to go needs to be decided by them, and then they can get that done. We don't need to be worried about splits and all that. We don't need to worry about that shit. That's their own business. They're grown men. They can talk it out, and they can handle that. We don't need to be involved in the contract. Let me see the contract. All the Terence Bud Crawford super fans, he ain't got that contract yet. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Bro, when the fuck has a big fight like this ever the contract been made that quick? Calm down, relax, pipe down, and let it play out. We don't need, I'm just people just coming up with absurd stuff now. Oh, the contract ain't drawn up? He's scared. I told y'all. He only said that to try to seem tough. I told y'all. Bruh. When Floyd Mayweather fought, and I know Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford are not Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao, right? But when that fight was made, that didn't come up overnight. That didn't come 2 weeks after Floyd's most recent fight. That shit didn't happen like that. And we have been waiting for that fight. We have been waiting for that fight longer than the Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence fight, right? So, come on, fam. That contract didn't come 2-3 weeks after the fight. Come on, relax, bro. Stay calm. We ain't heard nothing. Y'all just ready to say anything about Errol, to talk negatively about him. So you're using the contract dispute as a way to say Errol's scared and he ain't on shit. You're using the contract not being there in 2 or 3 weeks. Come on, bro. That don't even sound that doesn't sound realistic at all. At all. But, I know what it is. A lot of people just don't like Errol Spence Jr. And I'm gonna continue to say this. There's a reason why I am a fan of Errol Spence Jr. That's a real stand-up black brother. As a black man, that brother's always on code. When they ask him about Terence Bud Crawford, he always gonna say he gonna smash him, he gonna beat him. But he never talks down about that brother. Errol's camp don't try to shit on them. They didn't start that until Bomac was shitting on Errol. Calling him a drunk, saying a drunk ain't shit after the accident. Even after Errol had that horrific accident. Bomac, a drunk ain't shit. Talking crazy. And that's why Errol said that's why Errol said Bomac was nothing but a 5'7" super fucking heavyweight. Okay? So he needs to tell him somebody ain't disciplined. Obviously, Bomac wasn't disciplined during his fighting days either at all one bit. Okay? But Errol's camp didn't start saying anything until Bomac was talking crazy about Errol. Talking crazy shit. Errol living paycheck to paycheck. All type of wild shit. Bomac was just talking crazy. And Errol Spence camp, for the most part, has still been respectful. But last night, they asked Errol, do he got anything to say to Terence Bud Crawford? And Errol said, keep taking care of them babies good, man. That's what that man said. Keep taking care of them babies. As a black man, that's some real shit. I ain't gonna call you no hoe-ass dude and nothing like that until it's time for the fight. Until it's time to sign up for the fight. But right now, yeah, keep taking care of them babies, man. I seen what your daughter did. You got some great athletes over there, and your children, your seeds are doing well. They're prospering athletically, and I'm sure academically as well. Keep taking care of them babies good. That's what Errol Spence Jr. said. That's some stand-up shit, man. Then I see Errol rocking out with Jermell Charlo, telling the people, listen, he needs to be on the pound for pound list. If you got to take me off to put Jermell in, it's fine with me. Put him on that list. He needs to be pound for pound with what he just accomplished. The first time a fighter has been undisputed champion during the 4-belt era at the 154-pound weight division, super welterweight division. That's respectable. And Errol is giving all kudos to his homie, another black man that did the damn thing last night, right? But I just wanted to dispel all those rumors around Errol Spence Jr. and the narratives going around during the fight and after the fight and so on and so forth, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.